Since its establishment, the Royal Humanitarian Foundation has been drawing smiles on the faces of orphans, helping widows, providing relief to those in distress, and being the kingdom's hands extended to offer good to all those in need on both local and international levels. In order to know more about the RHF's essential role in ensuring the Bahraini community's best interest during the occasion of Eid and current health circumstances, we are pleased to be joined here in the studio by the RHF Secretary General, Dr. Mustafa Alsayed. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Mustafa.
My pleasure. Happy Eid.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Dr. Mustafa Alsayed, in this special coverage, we would like to first wish you a very happy and blessed Eid, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yes.
I've been with you on two happy occasions.
Yes.
When we reached 100 million for Fina Khair, and now on Eid Day, and the third, I hope it will be you interviewing me when we get rid of Corona.
Hopefully, inshallah.
Everything happens in the three.
Yes, everything happens in threes, correct. Well, when we start to talk about the RHF, Dr. Mustafa, the Royal Humanitarian Foundation has provided the Bahraini society with a number of initiatives during the current health circumstances, which mainly, let's first talk about it, as you mentioned, Fina Khair campaign. What can you tell us about these initiatives, including the current one now that's coming, or that's going on right now?
From the moment, first of all, I must not forget to wish our leadership happiness and joy and peace for the Eid occasion. I wish His Majesty the King, His Royal Highness the Prime Minister, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, and leader of the humanity work in Bahrain, His Highness Sheikh Nasser, the people of Bahrain, the residents, everybody, and the world. I wish peace for everybody. And about the initiatives, where do I begin? As the famous song says. Of course, the best thing that happened was His Majesty's initial initiative to support the economy and the business community and the people who needed support as a result of losing their business during this time.
Yeah.
And of course, the role of the government and its ministries was obvious from every department. The role of His Royal Highness Sheikh Salman Mohammed Al Khalifa was remarkable in enforcing a very strict policy of prevention, awareness, providing facilities, leadership that got the recognition of the whole world. And I always repeat that we owe our life to him for the seriousness with which he took the virus issue from the beginning, which is a lesson to be taught. As you are fully aware, there are very large, big countries who were joking about it,
right?
Whereas the wisdom of the Crown Prince was stronger than taking chances.
Absolutely.
And the medical team headed by Her Excellency Dr. Faisal Saleh and the medical services in totality in Bahrain. I'm talking not only the ministry, all the fields that put their hand together to protect the people is remarkable, and how they are monitoring and balancing between economical pressure and safety of people is very vivid to everybody in Bahrain.
True.
The care is very, very important. The continuation of that was to give the people of Bahrain a role in this as well.
Right.
The volunteers did a remarkable job by officially and unofficially helping people. We are very proud of them. And I'm sure they'll be recognized somehow. and we have some ideas. Sheikh Nasser has ideas. We appreciate their work. The generosity of people in Fina Khair program was unbelievable.
Right.
It surpassed everybody's expectation.
Right.
Even mine, when I wanted to put a level as a motivation to others at the end of that program. It was an unbelievable night.
Amazing.
To me, it was equivalent to winning a big football tournament
Yes.
on a national level.
We were really proud to be part of it as well.
Yeah, everybody. We changed the atmosphere from a virus to a solidarity of Bahraini people.
Right, absolutely.
And the companies, banks, children, everybody, we became a cohesive society. Expatriate communities. In 3 hours, it was during Ramadan, between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock, we collected $3 million that day, and you were there. That's not a joke. We thank our expatriate community in Bahrain for their feeling of belonging. Right. And that was the whole idea behind Sheikh Nasser's initiative, is to bring people together and to say, what can I do for my country? And the amount of money was not our target, sincerely.
Right.
And Sheikh Nasser said in his famous casual talk on Instagram to his group of young people, and spread viral worldwide, that every dinar counts.
Yes.
Every dinar counts had a very significant effect for me as a humanitarian worker, because one of my colleagues says, my son gave me a dinar and said, this is for Fina Khair program, my donation. His father said, oh, don't worry, my son, I've already paid 100 dinar. And you know, as if we don't need his dinar. He said, no, but Sheikh Nasser says 1 dinar is okay.
Okay. So you put it in him.
Yeah. If out of this campaign,
Yes.
you get 1 or 2 young people who are humanitarian enthusiasts, it'll be enough in 20 years from now.
Absolutely. Yeah. When it came to the initiatives, this was the Fina Khair initiative, but there are so many other initiatives that the Art Chef is taking care of. I mean, your volunteers have done so much work on face masks. They have done a lot of work in spreading joy and spreading needed foods and everything during Ramadan. And especially right now, we have Nis'al Ankum campaign, or Asking About You at Home campaign. What can you tell us about those?
From the moment the virus started and there was alarm and worldwide concern, RCO, as a professional humanitarian organization, expert in relief, evacuation, handling epidemics and so on, outside Bahrain, from Ebola to other diseases, we felt the significance of the problem. We felt the magnitude of the problem. So what we did, we let our orphans make an appeal to the community to wear masks, to be careful, and to level or reduce the care statistics of the people who are getting sick. And the orphans are the best to understand the meaning of death. Right. So it was remarkable. And then we went to giving, this is before the official corona organized work that's going on now.
Yes.
We went to look at 1,000 most needy family.
Yeah.
And with the help of His Majesty the King's initiative, we handled that.
Right.
And then we had about 500 who had micro business.
Right.
with the help of the family bank, we got to them. And this, I'm talking about 48 hours fast actions.
It was extremely fast then.
Extremely fast and fair, and received very good feedback. Another thing we did, after helping people, the way we help them, those needy, transferring money to their accounts. But we felt that is, we wanted to deliver food. At that time it was difficult to deliver food. There was some shortage, which was corrected very quickly. But at that moment, it was not possible to give 1,000 boxes for 1,000 family containing enough, say, for a period.
Right.
So, and we thought the best is to give them the money, and then they choose what to buy, when to buy it.
Right.
That was not enough. So we initiated a program of your medicine at home. We called it your medicine, Dawa Aktivitek, your medicine at home. The whole purpose was to follow up on our financial support, to say, is there anything else you need? And most people were happy that we asked about them, and they said, thank you, it's enough that you called. And I have a team of young girls and boys, the organization, who will follow up. But there was very serious need for some elderly people who needed Panadol, vitamin C, or very small things, but to them it's very important.
Basic
it's a life-saving.
Right.
And it was such delight for our volunteers, whom we have trained over the past 2 years for an eventual catastrophe anywhere in Bahrain. We didn't anticipate we use them here. We had a plan similar to what they have in Philippines, with a control room, with people call in, and we go to the help at least 11,000 people who are on our list, from children, from orphans and widows, that if there's exceptional need, emergency, and they cannot get through the official channel, that we as their representative on behalf of the king, that we will get help to them, official or through neighborhood. That plan was on, and Sheikh Ali Al-Khalifa, who's our director of developing resources, I sent him twice to Philippines to see that control room, which is volunteers control room. And they use it during tsunami, storms, or anything. But that training helped us because the people were mentally ready. That I can do something for others.
Exactly.
And it's not enough to depend on official support. We have to fill any gap in the net for people who are not picked up by the official support. That was very useful in terms of helping those people. Then another idea came. We said, what people need? And I'm talking about needy people, widows, people who don't have support at home. What do they need? They need a kind word. They need someone to ask about them, someone to feel if there is a psychological problem, and see how we can help them without any embarrassment. So we formed from a group of experts who are good in human relation, in anthropology or the science of understanding people and psychology, and some are our staff, because we've got an excellent section, we call it Irshad al-Nafsi, you know, advising people during traumas and difficulties.
Counseling.
And counseling, we have that. And then we got help from other people who volunteered in that. And their job is just to talk to people, to say, how are you doing, Corona? How do you pass your time? And what protection do you take? what's interesting stories you have during this period,
Right.
and give them hope that, like any other virus, it'll go away.
Yes.
And that received so much. It cost nothing.
Yeah.
It received more than the program that we spend a lot of money on.
Right.
Even as I was coming to the station, one lady from a society called, said, Mustafa, you don't imagine, so many societies in Bahrain are happy with this simple نسأل عنك.
Yeah.
We ask about you. And it's even if you are rich, even if a millionaire, if somebody sees you in an office, at work, in a refinery, and asks about you, how are you, Sarah? How are your children? How's your family?
Right. It's enough.
How did you come here? Was the road clear? Enough when you care about people, that they feel they are important. They feel that you think they are important. It gives them comfort that they come back to you.
Right.
And
right.
that program will go on.
Yes.
And I never expected that program, to be honest, to have such success, which means anybody who has an initiative, take courage from God, do it.
Yes.
Some will say it's good, some will say it's bad, as long as your intention is good.
Right.
And your vision is clear, and you have the resources to deploy that initiative, go ahead, do it.
Right, absolutely. I mean, in this time, the physical social isolation is mandatory and is needed, but the virtual one, or just having a telephone call to one's parents or to someone's neighbors or something like that, as you said, can really create this bond where people don't feel like they are left alone or they have been forgotten during this isolation. And this is especially useful with the elderly and those that are extremely chronically sick.
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important. Even we encourage our children to talk to their friends. Nothing wrong with that. Even exchange ideas on their homework or the gift they received or whatever. Just create a happy atmosphere. We have to know that this is temporary, and we should not consume all our emotions in this worry and stress. It's a transient period.
Yes.
We have to remain strong. We have to remain focused. We have to help each other. And we know there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's not the first problem that people have faced.
Right.
And we overcome it by national and international cooperation.
Right.
And Bahrain is excellent in that.
Especially that we have a very strong trained team. It's not just the Bahrain Task Force headed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, but also the Royal Humanitarian Foundation headed by His Highness Sheikh Nasser and by yourself, where you look for those who are in need and who might think that they don't have any kind of help, but you always provide that for them. Together, as you have mentioned, we have witnessed the success of the Fina Khair campaign, in which citizens, residents, civil society institutions and charity organizations have all participated. What can you tell us about how important such participations are, even though the campaign is over, but such participations are important now, even for the future?
Okay. First, let us look from a moral point of view. Bahrainis demonstrated their high level of morality, of helping others and sticking together under one leadership. And there was nobody happier than His Majesty the King. The messages I was receiving from His Highness Sheikh Nasser, and he's an excellent communicator, saying, Mustafa, you are happy, I know. But you have no idea how happy the King is. And he is monitoring what's going on. Honestly, he was over the moon, and that is our biggest joy.
Yes, absolutely.
In terms of now, the benefit that will go to the people is enormous. Some you already noticed going to very needy people.
Yes.
I know the media showed the expatriates because they are in very tough, low-level job, and
Away
Bahrain
from
does,
their families
and they support their family abroad, and
Yeah.
they need help. And Bahrain doesn't discriminate.
Exactly.
We go to Somalia and to other countries to help people in need, and how they are our neighbors.
Absolutely.
So that was brilliant, and that level didn't stop, by the way, to Bahrainis. The same food was going to homes through the governorate. Generally, personally, I prefer in such distribution to keep very low profile, as a personal. But on the other hand, some people like to show that the efforts of the donors going in the right direction. But these are very debatable issues.
Right.
Apart from that, we are spending on thousands of Bahraini who are in need, whose case we have evaluated, who have applied to us throughout the period, and it will go to them in a very dignified way, direct into their account. Thousands of people happy. If I say 5,000 is not enough, but if I say 5,000 head of a family, and in Bahrain we have average 4 or 5, so you are talking about 20,000 people happy on the spot. If I look at sectors who do not have official job, like those who serve coffee and provide transportation and self-service jobs, those jobs require also support. We look after them. The families who helped us with making masks and protective items, PPI, personal preventative items, which is a major subject, and there are international stations bragging about Bahrain.
Exactly.
I had BBC calling me that you have done an excellent campaign. We want to know how. Dubai TV did a brilliant coverage of just one aspect of the mask and how people are volunteering. So we have support for those who are working these items, although, honest to God, they did not ask for a filth when we approached them. Even those in the villages who are very poor and they need help before others, they said we'll work. Every time we finish the material, they say give us more. And we deployed also workshops who do mass production for us, for the protective cloth, which is the subject of pride internationally. One of the top 2 countries advised from their leadership was, why are complaining about masks? Go to your kitchen, take a towel, bend it over with a plastic, and that's it. And we provide, I think I have one sample, it's not for here, by the way. You asked the question.
Yes, but you're right. Absolutely.
Top quality.
It is.
That we give immediately to the workers, and we give now 10,000 on urgent basis to the Ministry of Health, 10,000 to the Ministry of Interior, and our work continues. Then we go to the productive families. These are about 2,000 who are registered with the Ministry of Labor, but their work stopped, and stopped now, which is their peak period, Ramadan and Eid. What they make in these periods is enough for a whole year.
That's amazing.
It's their prime time. So even if they don't for us mask, even if they don't work, those who work will get rewarded. But on top of that, those who didn't work also take care of them. On top of that, we don't look only at consumable items. We're also looking till midnight last night with the Zain Sheikh Nasser, and a big debate with him. on sustainable projects that glorify the works of Bahrain and will be good for education, or will be good for their medical or for prevention, and will be monumental in terms of glorifying the efforts of Bahrain. There are efforts, also initiative to synthesize the villages and places and high-risk areas. The amount of effort that's going in Bahrain, you can write in a 200-page, because everybody is supporting, every ministry, every society, it's such pleasure to work. And all we need is more energy as individuals to cope with the joy of working, because the amount of work is, Sarah, unbelievable.
Absolutely. I mean, even just the basic knowing that basically your heart is in the right place, that by itself helps you in doing so much more for the community. And really, like when you go to the psychological aspect of things, if you look at scientific reviews about people giving, it makes them happier than even receiving something. So just giving and making people happy really gives you that satisfaction, that joy that so many people are looking about.
There is a proverb that says, generosity is a blessing.
Yes, it really is.
Al-karam na'ma.
Yeah, it is.
God loves you, makes you generous.
Exactly, because
and
it is.
He loves everybody.
He loves everybody.
So in theory, we should all be generous.
Find the generosity in yourself, exactly. Well, we still want to discuss with you, Dr. Mustafa, so much more. We still have a couple of things we want to discuss, but we're going to discuss them right after this break.
البحرين تزخر بالهمم، قادها المنصور مصباح القيم، قادها نحو العلا في فترة بقياس الوقت مرت كالسهم. إنها البحرين تزخر بالهمم، قادها المنصور مصباح القيم، قادها نحو العلا في فترة بقياس الوقت مرت السهم. وتلاقى شرقها في غربها، فرح يشدو على حلو النغم، سورها ميثاقها دستورها، لامع عنوانها بين الأمم. وتلاقى شرقها في غربها، فرح يشدو على حلو النغم، سورها ميثاقها دستورها، لامع عنوانها بين الأمم. إنها البحرين تزخر بالهمم، إنها البحرين قادها المنصور مصباح القيم، قادها نحو العلا في فترة بقياس الوقت مرت كالسهم. وحدة الشعب على ميثاقه، صرخة دوت بها عالي القمم. يا بلادي أبشري واستبشري بملك همه الخير العمم. وحدة الشعب على ميثاقه، صرخة دوت بها عالي القمم. يا بلادي أبشري واستبشري وابشري بملك همه الخير العمام. إنها البحرين تزخر بالهمم قادها المنصور مصباح القيم قادها نحو العلا في فترة بقياس الوقت مرت كالسلام. إنها البحرين تزخر بالهمم قادها المنصور مصباح القيم قادها نحو العلا في فترة بقياس الوقت مرت كالسهم. إنها البحرين تزخر بالهمم قادها المنصور مصباح القيم قادها نحو العلا في فترة بقياس الوقت مرت كالسهم. إنها البحرين تزخر بالهمم إنها البحرين قادها المنصور مصباح القيم قادها نحو العلا في فترة بقياس الوقت مرت كالسهم.
Welcome back. We continue this special celebration of Bahrain's social harmony and unity by resuming our interview with the Secretary General of the Royal Charity Organization, now called the Royal Humanitarian Foundation, Dr. Mustafa Alsayed. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Doctor, before we went, we talked about the many initiatives that the Royal Humanitarian Foundation has started, and some of them are still ongoing, and some of them were not monetary in amount, but they were more of a qualitative nature. So they were about talking about empathy with people that are in isolation, maybe for a longer time or for a shorter time because of their age or because of sickness or stuff like that. But all of the things that Bahrain has done, whether it is the task force, whether it is the social cohesion, the social support, the monetary support, the medications being sent home, everything, all of this was recognized not on a regional level, but on an international, global level, where other countries have used Bahrain as a template for themselves. It was mass testing were done. Bahrain was one of the first countries who did mass testing. Rapid testing has been done. Bahrain, one of the first countries who did rapid testing, and then it was applied in other places. Helping the community was done by Bahrain also from the very beginning, forming a task force, all of these things. How do you value this international recognition to Bahrain's tasks that they have executed during the pandemic?
I believe any reward makes people work more and better, because it gives them confidence and motivation. I'm very happy that the work that Bahrain did, and I'm very proud, both from the royal level, His Majesty, the task force, the medical, the Fina Khair campaign, the cooperation of people, the well-organized testing, and the cooperation of people with the authorities and their understanding. The fact that you made in Arabic television مجتمع واعي, very beautiful program, delightful, talking about general things in life, but in a very happy way. That headline, watching it every night, مجتمع واعي means aware in community, or sensible community. That was enough to make everybody aware of his responsibility.
Right.
The recognition, I was at the beginning of Corona with the Secretary General of the World Health Organization.
Yeah.
I was honored to be during signing of some support from King Salman humanitarian fund in Riyadh. That was on 3rd of February. And at that time, it had not become an epidemic, it had not spread, but still we had made a lot of progress in preventative steps and organizational arrangements and making sure that the resources and materials that are available shouldn't get out of hand.
Right.
And I mentioned that to the Secretary General of that initiative after the signing, as we were working with him and reporters, and I mentioned also the reporters in Saudi Arabia. I said the key factor was the Crown Prince leadership, because he united all the task force who are involved in this, all the organizations, ministries, to have one direction, one voice,
Right.
and not to confuse the people. And I said that was the most important element in the success of our program. And then came the recognition, the official. Of course, the World Organization is the ultimate,
Yeah.
who recognize us, and we take it very, very proudly. But also, from, as I said, BBC calling you
Yeah.
to say that you have done a great program.
Right.
And, we want our viewers to learn from it across the world. That was so rewarding. Our BTV and other media using Bahrain as an example. That is the ultimate recognition. But the bottom line is, how do you feel, the Bahraini?
Yeah.
How proud you are. That is the important thing. And I think everybody in Bahrain is proud and everybody is happy.
Yeah.
The challenges we had was not easy. The resources we have is not that much, but we competed with the biggest countries in the world.
Exactly.
Even I tell you an example of the wisdom of Bahrain. When the problem happened in China and Wuhan,
Yeah.
people were joking about China.
Yeah.
Based on advice of leadership, we called the ambassador. We said, we are very sorry about what's happening there.
Yes.
And we have our solidarity.
Yes.
You can have our solidarity. What can we do for you? And this is the greatest country in the world.
Yes. Yes.
They
And-
said, thank you, we don't need anything. We're okay, and it's under control. But the beauty of this recognition was on the day I was with you.
Exactly. On Fina Khair, the ambassador
The
called
ambassador
us.
personally called,
Yes.
and he says, he felt when we called him, he said, I want to give
It
personally
was amazing.
2,000 dinars.
Right.
And he wrote the most beautiful letter. This is a recognition
This is
from
amazing.
greatest, one of the two greatest countries in the world.
Exactly.
What more do you ask for?
Absolutely. I mean, when we really look at how Bahrain has been preparing, it was already prepared very long ago. You mentioned the PPE products, which are the personal protective equipment that we use in hospitals, but are also now available because of the mass people. But also Bahrain has one of the disinfectant companies that produces disinfectant material here on our island itself.
They have,
Yes, exactly. And they send out to the region, and they send out, and we had these equipment here long before the pandemic came. So it really makes you proud that Bahrain is actually a place that makes this material for us. Yes, definitely. Well, we know that the Royal Humanitarian Foundation has some things coming up, future projects. So from you as the Secretary General, can you please tell our viewers an executive statement about the future projects that are being prepared by the RHF?
Right now, we're working in parallel with Royal Charity, Royal Humanitarian Foundation, and we have projects outside which is going, and we're monitoring. But our main focus is in how to help the people of Bahrain during the coronavirus problem. And as I said, we have 11 initiatives which will all pour into the goodness for the people of Bahrain, from helping those who are in their need to protecting people, safety, promotional activities, sustainable development projects. It's a lot of projects in hand for the next few months, which will keep us very busy and will keep a lot of team members busy. We are fortunate to have the leadership of the young, dynamic man, Sheikh Nasser, who inspires everybody.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Just last Thursday, I had 2 hours meeting on progressing the program, and one of the directors in his office is a member. When we finished, Sheikh Nasser came to the line. We had virtual everybody on the screen. His section was not showing any. I should have asked, where are you, Khaled, his representative? But I was so busy asking everybody about their programs.
Yeah.
When we finished, Sheikh Nasser said, by the way, I'm with you. He was with us for 2 hours, honestly.
Listening to you.
Listening. And at the end, he only gave us one directive, which was very, very strategic and of sustainable nature. But otherwise, like he did with the GCC football captain, he says, I give the captain the overall directive vision that I want you to win.
Yeah.
And I leave the details to him.
Amazing.
And he was with us 2 hours, and he held himself back from talking, and I'm sure at every line he could have added something.
Right.
But he let the meeting go, and at the end, like any true leader, he says, I'm with you, I thank you.
That's
By the way, he said to the team, you look tired. We said, no, it's a pleasure to work for the country.
Right. That's amazing. I mean, that is what Team Bahrain is. And Doctor, you know, always when I interview you, these small memories that you have are things that really make me happy, because we really tell people how things really are going on. And that's why I really want to know, on a personal note, how were Eid celebrations in the past? Do you have any specific memories that remind you of how you celebrated Eid, maybe?
Yeah, that's much better than Corona. Although Corona, we did a good job.
Yes, we covered it.
We did a good job of helping people, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
No, Eid was a very happy occasion. Everybody, rich and poor, dressed up smartly, and people bought new dresses, and the community helped those who cannot buy a new dress to make sure that their neighbors have a new dress. Even schools provided dresses for needy students. So it was amazing time of colors and beauty of children and people. Happiness is in the mind.
Exactly. And there are so many things and tools that we have now on a virtual scale, where there are online games where people can play games online with the kids, painting equipment, Skype, and these other programs that are used to communicate. They even have games integrated in them. Everything is available.
Share with them. I joined with them. Last night I was with my grandchildren, and they were playing, and I said, wow, you demolished several bricks. He says, they are not bricks, they are blocks.
There they go. They
but they
corrected
feel
you.
joy.
Exactly.
So share within the limit the joy that you can. And be patient. The corona will go away. But happiness is in the heart. From now, it has to be there.
Yes.
We should not burn our joy. Nothing should stop it. Happiness is in your heart and in your mind.
And things shall become normal again, inshallah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
This is a fact of life.
Yes.
There is nothing impossible, and we have made a lot of progress in this field.
Yes.
We are at the final stages if people cooperate.
Right. Exactly.
We have to contain this virus and get rid of it.
Yes.
That we can do. And we have to make a balance between fun, joy, and being careful.
Exactly.
And it should not be difficult. For me, it's not difficult.
Yes. I originally come from Riyadh, so for me it's not difficult either, because in Riyadh it is actually the atmosphere like that. We usually stay at home, we don't go out that much.
Exactly.
Again, thank you very much, Dr. Mustafa Alsayed, the Royal Humanitarian Foundation Secretary General, for being with us today. And we were also sure that the foundation will continue exerting its tremendous efforts that will definitely lead to accomplishing further achievements and constant growth in the path of providing the Bahraini society with its best interests. Our dear viewers, stay tuned with us. We will get back to you after this short break.